Hey, what's going on? Good to see y'all.
There we
You got
go.
Alex and Nika here from Chase the Comet. How y'all doing?
Doing good. What about yourself?
Oh, I'm fat and sassy. Can't get much better than that. How's the weather out in LA?
It's good actually. It's not too hot, not too cold.
Pretty fresh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're enjoying it.
Good.
Yep.
What about you? Where are you located? We
We're
don't know, so
located
let us
in
know a bit
Williamsburg,
more.
Virginia,
Oh,
Okay.
Virginia. Okay.
and it just stopped raining after 4 days, so we're glad to see the sunshine one more time.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, hopefully, it's summer, so soon, huh?
Yeah, it will dry up. It stays wet around here. Got Mama Sarah joining us with
Oh, wow,
Hello
there's the whole
there.
company. Hello.
Hello,
yeah,
hello.
we're just kicking back in the office. We're gonna keep it casual as possible. She come up with some things to talk to y'all about, and then we'll keep it casual. And toward the end, we'll ask for questions and comments from people that's joined.
Yeah, Alex went to grab the speakers so that we could hear you better. In the meantime, let me say hi to everybody who's joining us. I see Corey. Awesome. And yeah, and in the meantime, we'll just wait for more people to join us, right?
Yeah, yeah. I got the phone on max. I can hear you all right. I got everything turned down, but you think after paying for all that big money for these cell phones, they'd have a better speaker on them.
No, it's just
It's quite busy out.
yeah, it's quite busy outside, and the noise from the street is coming in. So we'd better make sure we can hear you well. Okay, and
Plug this in.
it's okay.
Hey,
Up.
but this way, can we communicate?
Yes.
Can you
Oh,
hear?
yeah. Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you
All
hear
right.
me?
Awesome. Yes. And this time much, much better. We have these guys with us. Da-da-dam.
Now it's crystal clear. Okay.
Well, it's nice to be part of the family.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome. Yep. Welcome.
I went on your website today and went ahead and ordered one of your CDs. Have it sent this way. Said y'all done shipped it to me.
Okay. So now you know. So because I only saw that well, your nickname, right? Your nickname is Big Gun, but now I know that your name is Chris, right? Or is that a
Yeah,
secret?
that's right. That's me. Sure enough.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I should have known that when we signed it.
Oh, yep.
Oh
Well,
my God. I don't know
yes, yes.
what those people
This
are.
is what we were talking about.
Can
It's
you hear the noise
extremely
from them?
noisy.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing outside.
Someone or something has dropped. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, it's awesome that you're with us, we're with you, and that we were able to make it happen because we really, really appreciate all the attention towards our music, and we're always super happy to connect with people who help spread the word, and we're very flattered. So thank you for the album review, by the way. I
Oh
just
yeah, we just read
found
it
it
today.
today. If you guys who are watching us, if you haven't checked it out yet, we have a big written interview at New Groove Magazine website.
And it's very on point. Very on
Yes,
point.
yes. There's many cool questions and many cool answers. I'm very humble.
Yeah,
And also, Big Gun did an album review on Out of the Matrix, which we also shared, and it's awesome. We really, really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure to read it. Yeah. So thank
well,
you
that's
again.
wonderful. We over here appreciate y'all's participation. We enjoyed reading all of it and putting it together. We got a small staff, but we do what we can, and we do everything that we do pretty much remotely. Or some people live a little bit away, some people live in Texas, some people live here and there. That help us out, get everything done, and try to get the music out to everybody. And we don't ever want to charge a musician for anything because we think y'all should keep all your money, especially right now. Y'all need every dime of it with not being able to tour, do anything like you used to do. This virus got the world turned upside down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're also doing, at the moment we're doing what we can because we feel that, in times like this, we should connect more to the people. And since we're not able to, because we had to cancel our tour in May and June. And just like you guys, we do everything ourselves, just Alex and I. So it was, it was pretty difficult to have so many dates booked, but however, we did it. And then we had to, see how the situation was evolving. And we were like, okay, well, probably we'll.
Yeah, firstly we had to postpone it, but then we
Yeah.
kind of canceled it.
Because nobody
we
knows
never
what's
knew,
going to
yeah.
happen, even, in September. And in every state, it is very different.
And there's still very little information, yeah, so
we'll see, and that's why we try, to get out more and play online to cheer people up to, and
create more content, yeah,
yeah,
to just entertain our, listeners and viewers because we appreciate them.
Jim Ross. I don't know what that was in connection with. One of the comments.
All right.
Yeah, I see that.
Just keep rolling.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all how I come across you.
Oh yeah,
nice. Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
It started with Amoeba Records. Yeah, it was a record store, and I believe it's somewhere on your side of the world. It might even be in L.A. I'm not 100% sure, but I was watching Amoeba Records a couple years ago, and there was a girl in there with dreadlocks. She said, "Well, I finally found my CD in here, and I went big time when you can find your CD in a store." And that happened to be Lena Scissorhands from Infected Rain. And I kept up with Infected Rain, and then one day, all the things she said, heavy metal version come across there.
Mm-hmm.
And
right,
that's where I seen you. And, well, I enjoyed the hell out of that song. And then so I looked y'all up and then been listening to y'all. And then I decided to reach out and talk with you and see what was going on.
That's Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. Yay. Cool.
Yep.
And my favorite song from y'all right now is Gone. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Gone, where you got your inspiration, what it's about, and so on and so forth?
It's funny. We just have a live stream on our account, on our band's page, and we were talking about the history of the song, how we wrote it, what was the inspiration and stuff like that.
But we're always happy to repeat it.
Yeah, but now we're just summit. Yeah, all the important factors about the song. So you go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief.
This guy is killing me.
And I'll just quickly say hi to everybody. Hi, Sean.
Just a nice summary will do. I'm gonna try to get out a pair of earphones. I'm having a lot of trouble hearing y'all, especially Alex.
Doing this.
Okay, so the song "Gone" started with the intro riff and with Alex putting down all the instruments and the guitar first, because we were going through a very, very emotional argument with our ex-band members, and he just needed to put out that emotion. So that's what he started doing. And then we started thinking, how I can put out this emotion, because I could not actually write the song about us, arguing with our band members. But I thought, okay, well, this is in general about what people feel when they, when they have to move on and they have something or someone just dragging them down, and, because we all know what it means to be in a toxic relationship, whether it's friendship or whether it's, romantic relationships. And so I thought, okay, well, this should be a song that everybody can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time it should be very positive in the end. And that's where, you know, I came in with this idea to put I'll go on. So this word play, you know, between gone and go on, um, I think it kind of leaves you with the feeling, okay, you know, like I was
Whatever
angry.
happens, yeah.
I was angry. It was really hard for me, but I'm over it and I'm moving on. So we always try to like put some hope felt message in our songs, you know, to like cheer people up and help them through, you know, tough situations and tough decisions. And because we ourselves kind of um, went through this, because we had to take that one step, you know, to the new life where it's just Alex and I, which is kind of hard for a rock band, if you know what I mean. Because right now we don't really have a drummer, we don't have a bassist. Alex creates everything, all the arrangements, and I write songs. And then we just manage this whole huge thing called a band, just two people. And you know, it was a very hard decision, and it's been many years that we've been just trying and trying to find people who would like fit in,
Yeah,
you know,
the right
and who would
musicians.
be a part of our, you know, dream and this rock and roll spirit. Because for us it was always like, you know, like friendship. We gotta hang out together, we gotta play together, we gotta have fun together. It's not
We got them back.
there.
See if we can get them, ease them back in here.
We're back, right?
Yes, we're back.
Aren't we?
I hear you, but I can't see you. There we go.
We can see. Yep. We can see
It's
you
hard to
very,
miss
very
it.
blurred, but we'll probably have to give it some more time.
Yeah. These are like pixels.
Oh, but all right. Well, we'll keep moving on. So, next song we wanted to touch base on is it time?
Isn't it time, right?
Isn't it time?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
With that song, it was very interesting because it was the first song that I've ever written on piano. Because I was
Well done,
I was
too.
looking.
Well done.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
was
indeed. I was so impressed. She used so many chords. Like when she played this whole song.
when she plays
for the-
guitar, she only
no, for-
uses four.
yeah, or three, even three. So yeah, when she played this song for the very first time, I was so impressed. She was like playing chords after chords after chords after chords. I was like, how many chords do you have in this song? That's super cool. That's like really very serious piece of music. So yeah, I got really impressed and I loved it from the first seconds.
Well, that one kind of just poured out. That was one of the few songs that I didn't have to like push at all. It was one of those songs that just like okay, there it is. And now
Yeah.
let's practice.
When it happens this way, it's the best. It's the
Yeah,
best
but it's
possible
not always
scenario.
like this. It was just, you know, it was long overdue. It was close to the new year, and I felt super exhausted, super tired, and I just needed that, you know, inspiration shot, let's say, to kind of like um get me back on track, of what we were doing and why we were doing this. So yeah, it was some kind of a like a confession and
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah,
Some
like a
thoughts just
inner
being put
conversation.
together. Yeah. Hello,
It's
everybody
excellent.
who's joining the stream. Hi, everyone.
Yes, hello everyone. It's excellent to hear that music is your passion and it's not a job. Because y'all speak very passionately of your music, and other people I've spoken with is we got to do this and we got to do that. Writing process is difficult because of this, and I understand it can be sometimes, but you can tell when it transitions from doing your passion and what you love to now it's a chore or a job, and I'm glad to see that y'all still got that fire in you.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, there is some things that we would say, oh, we have to do this and that.
Yeah. I mean, it can be difficult because you don't want to repeat yourself. This is our main concern, I'd say. So we don't want to repeat ourselves. So every time we create something new, we wanna make it like
Fresh.
fresh and
For
completely
us, at
new.
least.
Yeah, I mean, there should be something that we haven't tried before. Otherwise, it's just not interesting and not really like not exciting and not inspiring. So every next song of ours is kind of a little challenge. So we challenge ourselves like constantly to write something new, something fresh, something that we haven't done before.
I also wanted to say, that those things that you mentioned, like I have to do, like duties that we also have them and we get, we freak out. Sometimes I would be like, oh my God, I'm so pissed. Like, why do I have to post on Instagram and, like do all these things? And you don't even imagine, like, for example, I built our website. I personally had to connect the server with the website constructor, and like that was such a
Which
pain
is
in the ass.
quite complicated. Yeah.
And like set up our merch store and like all those things. There's just so many of them. But at the same time, I have a choice. Either I'm doing it myself, and though it's hard, sometime later I see the results. For example, other people would come to our website and they would say, oh, your website is so cool, or
We get it a lot.
or
Yeah,
our
we get it a
fans
lot.
would come to our merch store and they would want to buy something from us,
Because
which
it's easy.
yeah,
It's
which
easy
is
to operate it.
amazing. And I have it all set up and I have it connect, and it's just so many technical things. But and the other choice that I have is to just keep whining why things are not happening and why don't I have, a manager or
yeah,
whoever.
to hire somebody, but
Yeah.
again, you're not in charge, so it's not like really your
Yeah, so
responsibility.
it's like two choices. Either you want to do this, and in
Right.
any business, in any passion,
Or you find excuses.
yeah, there's things that you actually have to do that are not really pleasant. Like if you eat a piece of cake, you gotta wash the dishes afterwards. So yeah, there's definitely some things like this, but it's what you focus on. So we prefer to focus on the good thing, on the gratitude we have towards people who support us all over the world, on the people who listen to our music, and of course, we're super happy. We feel super connected to them.
Yeah. Hello, Sean. Hi, everybody. I'm just happy to see you guys here in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, glad to have everybody. You know, I was speaking with one of our anonymous contributors today, and he was really impressed. And he's played with a few bands and toured, and he's really impressed with your guitar playing. So, Alex, how
Thank
did
you.
you learn how to play the guitar, and where did you start? Give us a little background on that good guitar picking you
Okay.
got going on.
Okay, sure.
That's
Well,
an awesome question.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's been a while since I've picked up the guitar, so I guess I was maybe 12 or 13 when I picked it up, and I've started like learning how to play. Mostly my nice. Oh,
So cute.
nice. So yeah, mostly I would be like inspired by some rock musicians, some rock bands, and this would give me like this push to keep going, like to go on in my learning. So I'd say my main reason to pick up the guitar was to create the band, was to start the band. So I knew right from the beginning that I want to be in the band, that I want to create one, and so everything I would learn, I would like later use in the band in order to write songs, write music, and stuff like that. So that was the main goal from the beginning, just to learn how to play guitar in order to make music with my band. Yeah, and of
That's
course, there's
awesome.
so many talented musicians, band that you just can look at and learn from them. So this is really
You
amazing.
know what's really interesting, and Alex is not saying it. He actually graduated from musical school with trombone.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
he's a brass instrumentalist.
I even forgot about it. It was so long ago. Yeah,
Yeah, but his main
I was really into ska punk music, like jazz a little bit.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I graduated from the musical school as a trombonist, but then I kind of dropped it. I had to because of my health. I had some health issues, so I had to stop playing trombone. But yeah, I guess I just have focused more on guitar and
bass and
yeah,
all other
guitar, bass,
instruments.
and
Also,
yeah,
by the way, Alex has started learning drums and last year, right? Or even
yeah,
before
yeah.
last year. Yeah, and that is helping him to create more,
Meaningful,
real
meaningful drum
real
parts.
drum parts, yeah,
Yeah,
for our songs. Because right now he's responsible for everything in the arrangement except for vocals, and that definitely helps him.
yeah, but also I'd say my passion is to put together music instruments while we're making some new music, some writing some new songs. So I'm really into arrangements, sounds, different instruments, different tones, like keys and all that programming. So it's really my uh,
Passion.
passion, yeah, like my field of interest. So yeah, all the music for Chase the Comet I make by myself. I mean, Nika writes songs. She comes up with some like harmonies, some
Sometimes.
chord progressions, yeah, and then I just put it all together into the project and I get it done. And then we have some different people to mix it. But basically, like, there's only two of us who are responsible for our music.
For everything you see made by
Yeah,
Chase the Comet, videos,
for all the
music,
instruments, yeah,
and all the
all the
technical
ideas, all
stuff.
the conception. So yeah, it's pretty much us.
Yep.
Well, that's extremely impressive. Extremely
Thank,
impressive.
thank you so much.
Um,
Thanks.
want to talk about you and Nika and old Harley Quinn. Seems like you got a little something for Harley Quinn. Won't you tell us about that? Because it did look like fun in the Rage video, Rage Inside video.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Well, it was kind of funny. I actually wrote that song on the bus, and I was thinking about how many times I tried to like reach out to different publishers, labels,
Promoters.
promoters, whoever, like the most annoying part would be that not just people would say no, like
Like, sorry, we're not interested. Sorry,
yeah,
guys. Like,
which
yeah.
happened many times as well, but mostly people would just not answer, and that would just piss me off, especially when you try to reach out to the same person many times in a row and they're just ignoring you, right? And so I put that rage in the song, and then I was sitting on the bus, and my phone was dying, and I tried to like remember the lyrics. I'm like, okay, I should not forget this. I should not forget this, because I couldn't put it in my phone. And then it all kind of came together with the lyric video, and at that time it was what, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, I thought we bought the costumes before the Halloween, right? So
Yeah, but the point was that the idea of the music video of how Harley Quinn
the
from
transformation,
Suicide
right?
Squad and the Joker are getting angry because something's not happening their way, and I kind of imagined the Joker playing the guitar, and I thought, oh, that's sexy. And I thought, okay, what if we like elaborate this idea a little bit, like how can we make it cool, but at the same time not involve the police, and like how can we do it low budget, because we are independent, so we want to make it cool, but at the same time we don't really have huge budgets to invest in a music video. And so later I thought, okay, at least I can get the costumes, and we'll be Harley Quinn and the Joker for Halloween, which would kind of justify me spending so much money on the
It would kill
costumes.
two birds with one stone.
Yeah, and so we did it, and then later, a few months later, we already had a drummer. And we thought, okay, let's do this little crossover, and let's have him dressed up as Deadpool, and just do this like the noise audition, which is kind of like the voice audition, but like for, I don't know, it was just our version, and we thought it was really, relatable to a lot of um, musicians who try to get somewhere and who still believe that
being denied,
who still believe that it depends on somebody else, rather than just like taking it all in their hands and just like, kicking everybody's ass and just moving and bringing their music out there.
Yeah, and cosplays are always fun. So yeah, we've tried to use this too. That's a big.
I really did like it the way it transitioned. You could tell that y'all went from being civil to pissed by changing the costumes, and at one part where the fellow said, "Rock and roll, does anybody still even play that?"
I
felt
that. It's a good phrase. Yep.
A large bit of our clientele are heavy metal, rock and roll, death metal, and they're just happy to talk with us. Most of them. Sometimes you talk to people and you send them requests, or they send you something. They take forever to get back with you or not, and then when they do finally get back with you, they want to rush you. So yeah, I have some experience in that. We spend a lot of time trying to seek out people, and we purposely seek out artists that might think that they don't have a chance or just looking for a break so we can get them some publicity. So we're happy to hear that that was just evident to me. Is like, is rock and roll, does anybody still even play that? Yeah, they do, and we still love it, and they love it more in Europe, I think, now than they do here in America, but that's okay. Europe's putting out some good stuff.
That's arguable. I would say
it
this.
Just has taken a pause, I'd say.
It's just a very interesting observation. Because Alex and we thought about this many times. Why, like, for example, rap is the most popular music now, and why, for example, we watched this movie called Almost Famous, and most supposedly that. And we just watched it yesterday, and so the situation is taking place in 1973, and they're already talking about rock and roll being dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it keeps happening every decade. People are saying, oh, like, forget about it, rock is dead, and then something else happens, and
in a new shape, in a new form, like Nirvana or Green Day or Metallica or something else.
Yeah, it may be some different subgenre, but in general, we're talking about non-mainstream music, if we can say that, like something different. And
it's getting back every once in a while.
And I think the most important thing about it is it has to be, like music, especially nowadays when people have so many distractions. They have Netflix, they have, like cable and everything. They can just
all the social media.
Yeah, they can just stay at home forever, and that's why it is so important for music, and especially rock music. If it wants to be competitive, it has to become about fans, not about the artists. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to create. This is not about us. We are delivering our talent to the people, but it's about the people, what they are getting when they listen to our music, what emotions they feel, and how it affects their lives. So, and in the meantime, a lot of artists who play, a lot of rock bands, they just think it's going to be like it was, in the good old days when I was not even born, like you would come to the club, you'd get trashed and all the chicks would be yours. It's not going to happen this way anymore. It's different. Different people come to the shows, and you have to take care about those people regardless what you yourself want. If you don't want to play for the people, then go do something else.
Right.
There's so many
gotta work your ass off.
things for, for everybody.
And also, speaking of like rap music, hip hop music, it's just easier to go on tour. It's just easier to release your music, to drop it out when you're just alone in the band, right? You're just an individual artist, and you just drop your single or EP or an album, whatever it is, and then you just go on tour because you don't need a band. It's way easier.
You don't have to practice that many hours.
We know so many good bands that are just stuck in LA or somewhere else because there's too many members of the band.
And they can't tour.
Yeah,
it's just
they
not
can't
practical.
like even like practice together, like schedule a practice or like rehearsal because it's so complicated. When the band has like 7 or 6 members, it's cool, it's fun, like when they're on stage. But from the point of view of like management, it's really complicated to get it out. So this is why rap is so like is more flexible compared to rock music. That's why it's #1 today, but it's not gonna last forever. So it's gonna be changed for sure.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yep. Not only us, not only us.
Well, I noticed in your videos and all the music that I've been listening to by y'all really don't have the same sound across all the songs. Y'all are really diverse in your sound from borderline metal, hard rock, pop, little punk here and there. You just all over the map, and that's exciting. That shows that you got passion in your music and you're not afraid to step out of that rock and roll box everybody likes to put people in. But I've been really impressed, and several of us here have been very impressed sitting around listening to your music and watching your videos. And even if they are low budget, they look excellent. The music is just wonderful. Some I like better than others. Gone is still my favorite. It's got a lot of passion in it, and I like songs that have some meaning or passion, and and that's what I like. Period. I don't want to go on and press play on the albums. A lot of people I talk to, especially as I'm a '90s kid, I look like I'm a '80s kid, but I'm actually only 41. Just turned gray early, so I was in the middle of the Nirvana scene. My first Nirvana cassette was by sending in 3 box tops for Fruit Loops to Sub Pop, if that tells you. I was 12.
Cool.
So, and I gotta agree with you. About every 10 years, there's a change in rock and roll. You had. There's going to be no more Vince Neil's, Motley Crue's, no more Def Leppards. That was the height of. Yeah, that was the height of About Me music. Where it was about the rock and roll and the showmanship, and then when you transferred over to your grunge and Pantera types, Nirvanas, and then you had 10 years that was phasing out with people like Bush, and then you went on to have the new metal scene with Korn, and it has ever evolved, and sometimes you got to dig. I find I got to dig a little harder nowadays, but there are some really, really excellent bands out there putting out some good music, and I try to cover as many of them as I can, even if it's not my style.
You know what's really, really sad? It's how many great bands and great music and great artists, not just bands, there are there, but the problem is that somewhere deep inside, you don't want to invest your time in a band or in an artist who is not as passionate about themselves as you are. You know, because as Alex said, we know some fantastic bands. They're like amazing musicians. They have great material and they play great. They have great energy on stage and whatever. And they just don't do anything. And this is just so annoying. And back in the day, I would think, okay, you know, like to actually get somewhere, you have to stick out. You have to be special. You have to, you know, exceed in every field. You have to look good. You have to sound good. You know, you have to make sure everything is on point. But the most important thing is actually to just keep doing stuff, keep creating stuff, and give your fans an opportunity to believe in you, that they're not just listening to some music, but they're actually a part of something big,
something special, yeah.
Something important, and something that is staying with them regardless.
Yeah, no matter
you know,
what.
Because a lot of people come to music when they feel, you know, depressed, or music is a universal language that heals, that helps you go through your
Difficult stages.
difficult moments in your life, and you don't want to be attached to something that will disappear in a few years and will leave another hole inside of you, you know. So
it's a
Yeah,
long,
I
it's a
feel you
long-term
there.
relationships.
yeah, so it's very, very important. And, we just, because a lot of our friends would ask us, okay, guys, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm always happy to like jump on the phone with the people, and explain them if they have questions. And I'm happy to help, but at the same time, like if you're not doing anything to keep your music moving, and if you play like an occasional show twice, in
Just for your friends,
in
yeah, in the
6 months.
bar.
I mean, that's cool, and I go to these shows. I enjoy them genuinely. It's just you want to make sure if you start something, you don't drop it. Okay, and yeah, I don't know why I'm even telling you this.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point.
Oh, it is a good point.
It's a long path. It's a long path to go.
Yeah, because
sure.
you seem like a true music fan, and the fact that you guys have the magazine where you spend your time on actually helping other musicians promote their music. This is so precious, and I really, really appreciate it as a musician. This is amazing.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, it is. I was always told, when you feel good, you like the music. When you feel bad, you
still like it.
feel
You still like
the
it,
music.
just in a different way.
Yeah,
In a different
Yeah.
way.
yeah.
I had a rough upcoming, and and a lot of it was my own doing, and I went through a lot of things, and music walked me through it, and I still respect that. And we've sat down with many artists. We got many autograph things hanging around the house, and many shows, and talking to everybody. Just been doing this for a long time. I'm actually by trade, I'm an educator, so I've been writing stuff for years, for 20 years. And so I decided to, how this started out, we were originally going to start a music store, but by the time we got around to it, the virus hit, so we changed direction. And when we changed direction, it just hit like wildfire. This was something that evidently people wanted, people needed. So we wanted to give them the opportunity to find stuff that they could not find elsewhere, because we get a lot of people from Russia that talk to us and are fans over there. We get a lot of people from Brazil, and Italy is a big one for us too. Italy and Brazil more so than even the United States. So there's people out there that want. Yeah, they want to find it, and I'm finding all sorts of stuff. Where we were speaking about hip hop coming up and rock coming up, I've been getting a few from some rock artists, Emerge Reckless, Emerge Restless, and the Dropout Kings, and they're mixing your classic heavy metal, rock and roll riffs with your more modern rap styles with that actually has meaning. It's not just about drugs and women and stuff like that. They try to talk about things, and I really respect them for doing that, and it helps broaden our minds to hear music from around the world and different takes on it and how it's done. I ain't a fan of everything that I review, but I try to look at it as somebody's a fan somewhere, and how would they listen to it, and how would they perceive it, and that's the route I go, because I'm not one of those people who will go, oh God, that sucks. That's just not me. I'm gonna give it a chance. I might not listen to it again, but I can see where they're coming from, or they're trying, or got their own thing going, and I can respect that, and all of our readers seem to respect that as well.
That's awesome.
Fair point.
Yeah, and
Fair
that's the right attitude. We try to do the same especially with music. As I said, I just respect people doing something, and as you said, I might, not listen to something again, but I would say, okay, well, this is fair. I like the lyrics, or, I maybe I don't like the music, but this is just my personal opinion. I'm sure there's other people, who will love it. So yeah, I think that's the only right way to look at it, without, without dividing the world into black and white,
And it's also very important to remember that all the musicians are very sensitive regarding their music, so they take it too personally, like too seriously. So
Oh yeah.
you don't want to offend them because like at least they do something, right?
They're trying, and I respect
Yeah.
the fact they're
Yeah.
trying.
And it takes time,
And
to grow, to become better. It takes time. Even us, like maybe 10 years ago, our sound wasn't that good or our
We
arrangements,
believe that we were awesome.
ideas and stuff. But yeah, like you constantly think about
you
yourself
damn
that
sure
you're
awesome
cool.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had we had one fella submit and have us look at his videos. He really didn't want to get in the magazine, but he just wanted to see what old Biggin thought. And he was doing heavy metal with kazoo, and it was excellent. He was actually a really talented musician and added kazoo to the heavy metal, and he dressed his kazoos up with smiley faces and little wobbly eyes and stuff, and that's how he would play them, and it was like black metal with kazoo, and
Hey,
it was
why not?
excellent.
I don't
Why
I was
know.
not?
like,
I don't know what's kazoo. What's kazoo?
um, it's a little plastic toy, and it goes, and that's the sound it makes.
Okay.
You'll have to Google it when you get over here. Somebody playing kazoo. It makes a weird little noise, almost like a cow mooing constantly.
That's so funny
It,
because back in the day we would, like we would have slumber parties and we would also, play funny videos on YouTube for our friends. And there were some metal bands that were doing like heavy metal, probably like death metal or something with like animals.
Yeah, like a parrot or
A
a dog
parrot
or
or
a
dog or
bulldog.
I'm sure you've heard about those.
yeah,
It's pretty
I,
bloody. I mean, yeah, but
yeah.
it's
I don't
hilarious.
turn anything away once. Sometimes I might be like, all right, I've heard enough of that. But yeah, I've listened to music from all over the world. I even had a period where I was into Russian rap, where everybody was into videos wearing
Oh
the
shit.
Adidas jumpsuits, and
Oh wow.
and they were speaking Russian. I couldn't understand a word of it, but I could tell it was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I like
What's great about music, right?
yeah,
If it's
and
good, it's
we're
good. You don't need to know the language.
Indian heavy metal is really good. They put
Woo!
Wow.
Now you
it
got me
takes a
intrigued.
they add a sitar to the heavy metal, and
Oh
I
no
love the
way!
sound of a
I love
sitar.
sitar. I love
And
sitar. It
so
sounds fantastic.
yeah, look up when you get over here, look up Indian heavy metal. I tell you, I really like it. That sitar adds something to it, kind of like the way the Who
Wow.
does things with their Mongolian heavy metal. And then
Yeah, the
that
HU band, right? You're talking about the
yeah,
HU band?
HU.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
Who, HU.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
add that Mongolian throat music that only
Yeah.
they know
Yeah,
how to
like
do. Well,
guttural singing. Yeah, that's
yeah,
fantastic too.
that is excellent. And unfortunately, they canceled the show. I had tickets to go see them and was going to talk to them, but they canceled
Oh,
their show,
they were
and
supposed
I
to have a
can't blame
tour
them.
in the United States,
Yeah,
right?
they were.
They
Yeah.
were supposed to go on
Yep, they
tour.
were coming here to Virginia, and I had my tickets hot and ready, and now they're cold and stale. So,
All
but
right.
I'll catch them
Well,
next time
Maybe
next
around.
later.
year, hopefully
Later
next
this year or
year.
next year, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen
We still
anyways. We just have to wait.
we're still going to have a chance to see In This Moment, hopefully, and Coheed and Cambria. So hopefully we'll get to chat with them and see what's going on.
Oh, it's a nice lineup right there.
We got a question here. What about rockabilly? Also, guys, I see all your comments and I read them. I just don't read them out loud so that
Mhm.
we don't spend all our time reading comments. But if you
It's
have any
question and answer time,
questions,
anyway.
yeah, get the questions in. And I was also trying to get on our band Instagram where I posted
The
the
questions.
Q&A form. So I'm gonna look into that. In the meantime, rockabilly,
Rockabilly is
gentlemen.
great. Yeah, rockabilly is great. I mean, all the genres, all the rock genres, and all the genres in music in general are great. I mean, every talented piece of music is worth something, right? It all depends on the musicians who play it, I guess, on their personalities, on their characters, I'd say. Yeah. So I've never been like a huge fan of one specific genre because all the music is great. You just need to find the right artists, right bands to dig into.
Yeah, and also coming back to what you said about our stylistic versatility, It's basically the reflection of what we listen to. Because we can listen to anything starting from like classical music, going to Ella Fitzgerald, and ending with like Asking Alexandria, or like something really heavy. And
Yeah,
I
it's
can,
pretty diverse.
yeah, and I can just wake up in the morning and play Kesha, or like Katy Perry if I need, some dancey vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what you can see in our music, because we don't really stick to one genre. We create soundtrack for life, like because people can be in different moods,
Absolutely.
and in different moods you listen to different music like we do. And especially nowadays when most people's players are just on shuffle, or people listen to playlists, and it again depends on their mood. So
Yeah. True.
back in the day, people would tell us that it's our great problem that we don't have a musical concept. But, with the years, we figured out that we actually have a concept, and our concept is versatility, because in this versatility, you can actually find, like if you look at our first album, Russian Roll, and our second album, Out of the Matrix, you can actually find parallels between songs. There's two pop songs,
Right.
there's two like hard rock songs, and like all that, because we just want to be different, and that's our unique feature, because you don't really have a lot of bands that are like unique, and at the same time one of our idols is the band Queen, and they're super unique. If you look at their repertoire, you're gonna find the same thing. There's disco, another one bites the dust. There's Bohemian
Glam
Rhapsody.
rock, like
there's
operatic
Killer
stuff.
Queen.
Yeah.
And like all those songs
tons of great ideas.
have
Yeah.
totally different vibes, totally different feel. But at the same time, when you listen to them, you can kind of hear this. That it is the same band. It sounds different. It uses different tools, different instruments, but it's the same band musically.
Yeah, and it's not working these days this way, that all the bands, all the music is like divided by genre. So I mean, like metalheads versus rappers versus punk rockers. It's just all mixed together these days, and it's all shuffled, right? I mean, when you go to Spotify and listen to some playlists, sometimes you don't even know the band names or something. You just enjoy the music. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you just skip it and listen to something else. That's pretty much it. And also, quickly, I wanted to say about the environment, because it matters too. Like, let's say living in LA makes us write some LA-ish music. I'd say we have a song called "What's Wrong with Us," and okay, we don't listen to rap music. We don't listen to rap music a lot. I mean,
we don't listen to it at all, to be honest.
Sometimes I could listen to like Post Malone or something, but it's not like our main thing to listen to. But living in LA
and hearing this beat,
hearing this beat, like trap beat
from every car,
kind of
pushed every corner,
kind of pushed us to recreate, to not copy but recreate,
to use it as
a tool of how we live in this modern world, with all the cell phones, all the social media, being really involved in the communications like online, and kind of avoiding the real factor, the real conversations, the real talks, the real going out and stuff. So yeah, the environment matters a lot too. Like not the music, not only the music you're listening to, but the environment, the city where you live in, and stuff like that.
So genre is a tool, basically.
Genre is a tool.
And Chris, we have a question from Sean here. He's asking if you've ever listened to baby metal.
Oh yeah, I've heard some baby metal. Plenty of times. What they had that one song, "I Love Chocolate" or something like that.
What do you think about it?
I can tell you one thing. The instrumentation, how them fellas was playing them instruments was phenomenal. The gimmicky, squeaky high voice, that doesn't really work for me. And you can read background of that. That's exactly what they were going for, a gimmick. They love some heavy metal in Japan, so they wanted to touch base with other audiences, much younger audiences than they were getting, and so they chose to go with the lead singers that they chose, and it's always been three girls. Now, it hasn't been the same three girls, but it's been three girls, and it appeals to the much younger crowd, and And people might talk trash about it, but you know what? It opened up heavy metal to a whole new generation of people that's going to live on, and that turned them on to other heavy metal, and they're doing good during the States. It's not my thing, but I won't turn it off if it comes on. But
Right.
I'm not going to look for it. But yeah, I give them respect for what they do with it.
Sweet. This is wise. Yep.
Awesome.
Do we have any more questions in the chat?
Yeah,
What
any more
music we
questions?
love? Indeed.
We got about 9 minutes before Instagram's going to cut us off anyway.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true. Okay, guys, if anybody wants to ask us or Chris any questions, this is your
It's
time.
high time to go ahead and ask.
This is your time to live.
Oh,
This is your
meanwhile,
time
Chris.
to choose.
Chris, yep. We wanted to dedicate something to you and say
All right.
thank you. Thank you for having us
Dedication.
here on this live stream. It's
Yes, we're very honored and
like
appreciate your time and what you're doing over there,
scores,
you guys.
right? No.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Chris's favorite song.
In acoustic.
Yeah, maybe not full, but sometime.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That one step that separates you from a different path, from a different life. Are you gonna be brave to take it? Will you do your best to save what we've had so far? Or did you have enough? Did you have enough? You can't hear me, you won't listen. You did me terribly wrong, I kept it in for so long. Will it take you long to figure out I'm gone? Can you hear me now? I'll swallow my fences. I believe there was a chance for a compromise, for us to burn and rise. But it's getting only harder. You don't even seem to bother. I can last no more. You wanna be ignored. Okay, now we can stop.
That was great.
Yeah, a little impromptu.
Thank you. Okay,
That was
seems
great.
like
I love that acoustic guitar work and that vocal range you got and lovely voice is absolutely wonderful. I had to lean over so Mama Sarah could hear you sing.
Oh,
Thank you, Chris.
thank you.
Yeah, no more. I mean, not too many questions.
Yep, I think everybody was just ready to listen and enjoy. But anyway, you know, it was super cool to connect with you. Everybody, guys, if you want to read a written interview that Chris Big Gun did with us on New Groove Magazine website, you can do so. We have a link attached to our stories, and it's swipeable, so you can just swipe up and go read it.
And
There's
also an amazing album review.
yes,
So, yeah,
yes,
just read it.
and yeah, and in the interview, there's a
It's
few
very
really
well
cool
written.
questions, and we appreciate you for
So go check that out. For
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
We appreciate the time that y'all give us. Everybody go to www.newgroovemagazine.com and check out our other artists. And we have our own playlist, which includes Chase the Comet. And we'll be
go.
adding more artists to it every time we interview them. Every artist we have on there, we have actually spoke with and had some type of conversation with. We don't not get to know the people that we interview. We just don't grab stuff and go for it. We talk to everybody. So we appreciate
That's
y'all
awesome.
coming out. Y'all stay
Thank
lovely.
you.
Thank
We'll
you,
holler
Chris.
at you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye, everybody. Have
Thank
a great
you.
day.
Yeah, let's collaborate.
Bye.
Let's support each other.
Thanks, guys.
Say bye, Shadow.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh my God! Look at that doggy. So cute.
All right. We'll holler at you.
Okay,
All right, you guys
guys,
stay
enjoy
safe.
your night. Talk to you
You
soon.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.